Namaste, and welcome to this session on Pranayama, beginners to advanced. The practice of Pranayama is the foundation for Hatha Yoga. Hatha means sun and moon. So what is that referring to? That is referring to the Ida and Pingala, or your brain. Left brain being sun, right brain being moon. So the practice of Pranayama actually helps to cleanse and balance your right and left brain. Eventually, you rise above the duality and it merges together and you are more unified. The other thing that Pranayama does, especially Kapalabhati, is it increases agni. Kapalabhati, rapid diaphragmatic breathing, you contract your abdomen, and what you're doing is you're actually fanning your agni, you're fanning the fire. So it increases agni and therefore tapas, burning out toxins in the body. I am quite surprised today that a lot of young people and the studios in Vancouver, BC here do not include Pranayama in their Hatha Yoga sessions. That is a very big mistake. Pranayama is the foundation for Hatha Yoga. So there are other benefits to this, aside from balancing and cleansing the brain. It actually, at one point, if you continue doing Kapalabhati and Nadi Suti, these are the two practices that I'm going to demonstrate today. If you continue to do these practices, they will eventually remove the veil from the mind that prevents you from seeing the truth. So it's not a practice that you should neglect. In the Sutras of Patanjali, Pranayama is on the fourth limb of Ashtanga Yoga. The fifth limb being Pratyahara, which is sense withdrawal. So the breath is the means that we withdraw into the inner world. It also helps the breath controls the mind and the mind controls the senses. We cannot proceed to meditation and concentration and then samadhi without control of the breath. So you won't get past the third limb of yoga if you do not practice pranayama. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Today I'm going to demonstrate two major pranayamas, that is Kapalabhati, or skull shining or skull cleansing breath. And what that does, as I said, it not only cleanses the mind, reducing the density of the mind by pulling out the threads of your mental filter or tapestry that forms your mind. It pulls out these threads, these conceptions and ideas. Once that veil has been removed, then you see the light, and enlightenment is the next stage. So don't neglect this practice. The other practice that I'm going to show you today is Kapalabhati, Nadi Suti. Nadi Suti is alternate nostril breathing. And what we're doing in alternate nostril breathing is we're not only cleansing and the entire nervous system, but we're balancing the flows of energy between the right and left brain. There was a doctor called Pierre Flore-Henry, who discovered that there was a correlation between left brain thinking and right nostril, and right brain thinking and left nostril predominance. In fact, he discovered that a predominance of any of these, too much emphasis on any of these hemispheres, if there's too much left brain emphasis or too much right brain emphasis, it usually results in mental disorders, with the left brain emphasis in schizophrenia and a right brain emphasis in depression. So again, Hatha, the yoga, means to yoke or join your mind with the universal mind. And Pranayama is the vehicle for that achievement. So let's begin. I'm going to begin with the beginners, and what you want to do is make sure that you're breathing correctly first. How we breathe is, when we breathe, we fill in the lower abdomen, then the middle part of our chest, and then the upper part of our chest. It's called a deep three-part breath. So when you inhale, you should always keep your eyes closed when you're doing pranayama. The best position is a lotus position. If you can do full lotus, always keep your spine straight. Full lotus is preferred, but you don't have to do a full lotus. You can simply tuck one foot under the other and do a half lotus. If you cannot do that either, just putting your legs flat like this, your knees like this, but making sure that your spine is straight. To practice getting into this, you might want to do the butterfly. Hold on to your feet and just gently practice this to get used to having your legs in that position. Okay, I'm going to do full lotus, which you could do half lotus or just put your legs to the side like I showed you. To begin, let's do the 3-part breath. Inhale deeply through the abdomen. First the abdomen fills up, then the middle, and then the top. Breathe in. And then when you breathe out, first the upper contracts, then the middle contracts, and then the lower contracts. Take a couple of those breaths. Exhale. Now we're going to do Kapalabhati, skull shining or skull cleansing breath, which not only cleanses the mind and reduces the density of the mind, but it also fans the digestive fire, increasing agni. This is the seat of agni. Increasing agni, which burns, which creates tapas or burns impurities. The other thing is, the best time to perform these practices is after your Hatha Yoga session. Because during your Hatha Yoga session, you are squeezing the organs, squeezing, and then the impurities are coming out in the bloodstream. After you've done that, perform Kapalabhati, because that's how the impurities are eliminated, through the breath. You're squeezing the organs and eliminating all the impurities. The breath will eliminate it after your session. So always perform Kapalabhati and Nadi Suti after your session. The best times to do Pranayama is, of course, between 4 and 7 a.m. in the morning, because the pranic levels are very high at that time. It's very calm and it's very, very beneficial. The other time to perform it would be in the evening at sunset or before you go to bed. So perform these first thing in the morning and in the evening, right before your meditation session, because after you do Nadi Suti, the equalizer breath that equalizes the flows of energy between the right and left hemisphere, your mind will automatically be in a state conducive to meditation. Okay, now once you've done the 3-part breath, we're now going to do Kapalabhati. For beginners, breathe out. Don't worry too much about breathing in, because you'll automatically breathe in. But if you feel that you can do that, you can apply a little bit of breathing in. You can do this. So you're breathing in, forcing the air out. You will automatically bring back, or you can take a little breath in to help yourself. What you should do is at least 50 rounds of this. So you begin with the 3-part breath. First, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And on the last breathe in, we're going to begin Kapalabhati. Breathe in. And begin. Breathe out, breathe in, and slowly breathe out. Try to work up 50 repetitions of that. Now we're going to move to Nadi Suti. Kapalabhati again should be done after your yoga session to remove all the impurities. Kapalabhati should be done whenever you're feeling mentally distressed, actually. Start doing Kapalabhati. That will just cleanse out the thoughts. It is our most remarkable practice. So we're now going to do Nadi Suti. This is the equalizer. It equalizes the flows of energy between the right and left brain. It also balances the breath. So eventually, once that is balanced, the central canal opens up and there is a union of male and female. And you rise above the dualities. This also helps to cleanse the nervous system. So to begin, take your hand. We're going to be using the ring finger and we're going to be using the thumb. Put your thumb on your right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Close off the nostril with your finger, your ring finger. Release the thumb. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close off the right nostril with your thumb. Release the ring finger. Exhale through the left nostril. You want to do a 1 to 2 ratio. So you begin just inhaling for 5 counts. You can go Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, for example. You should exhale for 10 counts. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, and so forth. So the pattern is exhale, first inhale, exhale, inhale, close off, exhale, inhale, and you can do about 12 rounds. So exhale, inhale would be 1 round. Exhale, inhale would be 2 rounds. Okay? Once you have worked up to about a 10-20 ratio, inhaling for 10, exhaling for 20, then you can begin retention, which is the advanced breath, which I'll demonstrate right now. First, I'll demonstrate Kapalabhati, advanced Kapalabhati. So in advanced Kapalabhati, it's the same principle, except there should be no differentiation between the flows of breath, between exhaling and in. It should just be continuous. And once you've gotten used to that, once you've built up enough prana in your body, it becomes quite easy to do that. It becomes quite easy to retain the breath as well. So what you're doing is you're exhaling and inhaling. You're having a continuous flow between, there's no differentiation between the inhalation and exhalation. Once you have worked up to about 100 repetitions of exhaling and inhaling, 100 repetitions, then you can begin to add retention. You add retention at the last inhalation. So you breathe in, and then you lock here at the throat, you lock here in the abdomen, and then you lock in the genitals. You kind of pull up the genitals as if you're doing a Kegel exercise and contract the anal sphincter. It's kind of like when you urinate, you hold your urine. That's what you're trying to do. So you hold that, you contract this, and you contract this. So I'll demonstrate. First, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and slowly exhale. I just did 100 repetitions. I locked and locked and locked, and then I retained that for 20 seconds. Kapalabhati for the beginners, work up to 50 repetitions, 3 rounds. Once you've gone up to 100 repetitions quite comfortably, begin to add retention, but only add retention for as long as you are comfortable. Be careful, prana is very powerful. You should not feel any dizziness or lightheadedness. You may experience initially some sweating or your nerves shaking. You will have a little shakiness because you are cleansing your nervous system. So you may experience some shakiness or nervousness, some profuse sweating. That is all normal because you are building up agni as well. You're fanning the fire, and that is creating tapas. And tapas burns. It burns toxins. So this is a powerful cleansing practice as well. Beginners, again, 3 rounds, 50 reps. Then proceed to Neti Suti. Do the 3-part breath. At the last inhalation, exhale through the right nostril, inhale through the right nostril, close off for a second or two, exhale, inhale, close off for a second or two, and then continue for 12 rounds. You can count on your hands. So inhale, exhale is 1 round. You can kind of count as you're doing this. That's what I do. I just count how many times I'm doing this. For the advanced levels, begin the same way with the deep part breath. At the last inhalation, begin rapid diaphragmatic breathing. Note that there's no difference between the exhalation and inhalation. It's continuous. I do that for 30 minutes non-stop. Only do that for 100 reps. Then at the last inhalation, lock, lock, and retain for 5 to 20 seconds. You can build that up to retain as long as you like, but proceed slowly. Neti Suti is the same. In Neti Suti, we do the same thing. We exhale and inhale for the advanced. And then we lock. Then we exhale, inhale, and then we lock. So the ratio is, again, you inhale for 10, exhale for 20. Lock. Build up to 20 seconds and then go to the left nostril. Please, please do the pranayama with your Hatha Yoga. I'm again quite surprised that a number of people today, including the studios here in Vancouver, don't even use pranayama. It is the foundation of Hatha Yoga. It's what Hatha Yoga was based on. Pranayama is in the middle of the 8 limbs of yoga. That is the gateway. Pranayama is the means. It's through the breath. It's through the breath that we go into the inner world. It's through the breath that we calm our minds. It's through the breath that we balance left and right brain. And it's through the breath that we achieve higher levels of reality. The other thing I'd like to just say to you before you go is it's very important to clean out the nostrils before you do this. I found this cute little lemon squeezer in Japan, and it works very nice. A little warm water and sea salt. Let it drain through. Clean your nose out. Let it drain through.